Stream is live.
Hi, stream.
Gotcha. Thanks, Deb. I couldn't quite remember exactly which one it was. That's fine.
Right.
Okay. So.
Cass is still in the Axis. PCs. Sorry. Rip Cass. That was unnecessary.
Hey, I have lots of leftover paper at the moment.
It is never unnecessary.
Okay. Manon, you're ready? Umbra, I don't care whether you're ready or not. So.
Wow.
It's fine 'cause I'm not.
Oh, tough shit. Because I believe where we last left off was 2 weeks ago. The party was on layer 3 of the Tomb of Fuck Your Characters. And Meiril had just died being eaten by the Green Devil Face. Juju, unbeknownst to you, also died being eaten by the Green Devil Face, leaving just Sakaria, Mercy, and Meiril wondering what the fuck to do with themselves.
So what the fuck do we do with ourselves?
That is a very good question.
Do we have a sense that Meiril is no more?
I'd say you probably do. Like, you've got that niggling sensation at the back of your mind that something went wrong with Meiril. You were in communication with him, and now nothing.
Now there's just nope.
Maybe what happened to me will happen to him if we're lucky.
Lucky. Yes. We've been so lucky so far.
Well, arguably, I'd say I have if I've managed to cheat death somehow.
Well, do we want to keep going then?
That's all we've got to go for right now.
Oh.
Yeah, let's go. I'll catch up.
Alrighty, so where's it you guys are going? Don't mind me.
That away, I guess?
Alright, Neb.
Sorry, I'm just looking at a big black screen with arrows splintering appearing on it.
Here.
It's my, I don't want Sakaria to go first!
I'll move you out just so you've got some vision there, Neb. If you've even still got vision from him.
I do not have any vision at all. I just see a big black screen with a
Does
bunch
that
of
help?
arrows on it. That does help a lot.
Okay.
However, that was
Meiril,
kind of amusing.
ahead of you, the corridor turns sharply to the left. At the corridor, just before the turn, a peephole is carved into the stone wall that height is 6 feet. To your right is a door, and to your left appears to be a tapestry of some kind, or a carving depicting what seems to be a cleric in the middle of a battle. And as you turn to look at the door, your arm ends up accidentally brushing against the tapestry, and a figure pops out.
I whack at the figure.
Yeah, would you like to describe your new character? Also, is that an actual attack roll?
Yeah, I was going to ask about that.
I'd make it a grapple. He's not that sort of strike at anything.
I more or less just popped out of there, I suppose.
I mean, if you're going to grapple, that'll be your athletics opposed by Neb's acrobatics, your choice.
Athletics or
Yep.
acrobatics, whichever.
I'm probably not going to succeed at this.
He grapples me, let's just put it like that.
Yeah, don't be so sure.
Uh,
Okay, maybe let's be so sure.
I haven't seen a roll come through from you, Neb.
I haven't
It-
rolled yet.
Or
Was it
athletics.
acrobatics
Your choice, which?
or athletics?
Nope.
Can I choose to fail?
I mean, you fail anyway.
Are you really good?
Just have to.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Yep.
So,
And
I'm
would-
grappled.
For the benefit of everyone on the stream, would you like to describe your new character?
You are looking at a cleric in what's he?
There we go.
Clad in. Excuse me. Clad in scale mail, holding a shield in his left hand, kite shield, pretty large, and in his right. Are you rolling dice?
That was me. I'm emptying my bag. Continue, sorry.
Okay. And in his right hand, holding a staff, which is endorsed at its top with the symbol of. Oh, this is gonna feel so wrong to say. The symbol of the goddess Isis. I'm going to cringe every time.
It was your decision.
Heck, it was the best. It was the best goddess I could. It was the best deity I could find.
Egyptian deity, I take it.
Yes, yes, and good thinking actually, because he does have what seems to be some southeastern heritage.
This symbol,
If-
it means absolutely nothing to us, right?
Is Sakaria proficient in religion?
I'm not entirely sure. Maybe I should pop up her character sheet. That would be helpful.
The same symbol adornishes the tabard that he wears over his scale mail.
She is not. but she
Go
has a
ahead and
plus
make me a
5.
religion check.
11.
You've heard of the deity, you don't know anything about her. Like, there's more of a, yeah, she exists, she's worshipped by some of those weird desert people.
Okay. Not
Sorry.
really. I mean, I am a weird desert people, just
Yep.
I guess not the same desert.
I am a weird desert people.
Yeah, but I can know. Probably not. Either way, he has slightly golden tint in his hair. You can see that it shimmers a little bit more than naturally. And the same goes for his eyes. They shimmer yellowish, brownish, quite clearly golden.
Explain yourself.
What is this? Where is my party? Where am I?
You just came out of a wall. And technically we're a bit on edge at the moment.
Would you? I came out of a wall.
That you did, good sir.
Now that is fairly peculiar. Of my party.
Who are you?
Pardon me. Pardon me, my rudeness. My name is Nilwem Aulan, Cleric of the goddess Isis. Pray tell, what brings you here? And who are you?
I'll release the grapple and take a step back. Still arms up in posture, but I'm more relaxed. We are My name is Meiril Amaru.
It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
And same to you. I'll turn to the others. I'm not going to introduce the others against them. If they want to, then they do.
Although I do have to say, it would have been far more pleasurable given the circumstances of my presentation would have been otherwise.
So, Sakaria, what are you looking for?
See if it was like if there's a secret passage, if there is nothing, if there's any traces of magic.
Go ahead and make me an investigation check backed with an arcana check. And sorry, go ahead, Neb. So, investigation and arcana from you, Miya.
I would like to ask a question regarding if my character knows what happened to him.
I mean, last you will have known, you were... Sorry, I've just glanced at the chat.
It's okay.
Last time you were doing anything, you would have been fighting the Archlich Acerak, and your allies were starting to die around you, and now you've gone from the middle of a fight to this.
Okay. That brings me a little bit knowledge.
What are you doing here?
I came here to vanquish the evil that is
Acerak.
Acerak. Pardon me, then. I suppose my tongue is has a little bit of a mind of its own after that kind of encounter. Last thing I could remember, he was pointing his finger at me. Next thing I know, here are you. And my party, and quite clearly not around.
You were facing the Archlich himself.
Yes, I was. However, I do have to admit that we were not particularly well suited to fight him.
Alright.
Neither of you, by the way, has told me yet what brings you to this.
Is the soul longer familiar to you?
It would not be.
Is it?
A quick question. What year do you believe it
It would be a date oh god, this wouldn't be the this wouldn't be the Farron calendar that you'd be using, so the dates are not going to line up.
Okay.
I think to you it would be 821 PD, Nilwem.
It would be 821 PD.
And that means absolutely
Nothing to
nothing
Sakaria,
to me.
because in the Forgotten Ones I believe it's in the 1400s. 1480s if memory serves. I haven't found the exact year that TOA takes place in. But I believe it's in the late 1480s, so... And PD means nothing to you.
Yeah. I am not sure how long you've been in this statue, but probably a long time.
Excuse me, I've been in
Well, it's more of a wall tapestry carving, but yes.
Sorry, you said petrification. I translated
Uh,
to statue.
So you know how in
Yeah.
fancy houses and old buildings, tapestries are hung on the wall. This is basically a carved tapestry on the wall that he was sealed into.
Okay, so. Okay. You seem to have been sealed in here. Probably his idea of an amusing punishment. That or he forgot about you.
Well, we all do have. We all are aware that the Archlich has a pretty strange sense of humour, if at all.
Check your PMs, Neb.
I'm looking.
How did you get out now, though?
That is a question of which I cannot quite understand myself.
And why are you talking like that?
This is how most people of my land speak. For me, it is strange how the lot of you speak unto me.
It could have been triggered by our arrival. It could have been.
You distinctly
random.
saw.
It could be that
You
someone
distinctly
is
saw whatever
looking
this
at
was
us.
that had bound him in this tapestry. Meiril brushed against it, and that seemed to break the seal.
Alright, I will tell you as such.
The last vision of him I had, him pointing his bony finger at me, was to see me. I suppose he would have intentions of making me his personal trophy, as he does with so many others.
Or wall decoration.
Does not that fall under the same category?
I suppose.
I would argue is correct.
You're a cleric, you say.
Yes.
You could come in handy. Our cleric seems to not have made her way back to us.
Are we taking another one?
Strength in numbers, Mercy.
Do you want to be the party healer, Mercy?
Not really, alright.
I have taken more fascination. Well, fascination is the wrong word. I've taken more of a pilgrimage to vanquish evil. If our party is bound to run into a Serac, then I might consider it. I would not like to face him alone.
Well, we are kind of hoping to avoid himself, but and I catch him up on the death
Yeah.
curse.
You do that.
That's all I'm wondering.
just simply.
Yep.
Skip forward.
Yep, you inform him about the death curse, and it seems that the ever-present eyes in the purple moss are just amused and observing this.
So this soulmonger is the Serac's doing, is it not?
We believe so. And it has most of my soul currently in it, I believe.
This foul creature needs to be vanquished. I cannot sit idly by. Let us be on our way. I shall join you.
Please, after you.
Let's make the new party member go first.
Always.
Very well. In which direction would you suggest I'd be going?
Well, we came from that direction, so somewhere in this direction. I don't suppose you know what's through this door, do you? Oh, actually,
Do you actually point north or south?
I say, I point,
We came from south, so there's whatever's east or north.
I actually go up on my tiptoes and peek through the peephole as it's 6 foot off the ground. I am 6'1" in height, so I need
So
to
you're moving
tiptoe
down
a
to the end of the
tiny bit.
corridor. The
I was at
peephole
the end of the
is
corridor.
here.
Well, I'm assuming in that thing.
Oh,
You have a
that-
door
okay,
to your
then
right. No.
I thought it was like a.
Pardon me, I shall do
So
so.
you're just ignoring the door. Okay. Focusing through the peephole, you can see that the corridor ends with a block of stone on which is painted a 7-foot tall jackal-headed humanoid with a circular gold medallion around its neck. All around the figure are carvings of locusts.
Oh, I've got to find the bleeding thing again.
Jackal?
The vulture is the first step.
What would you rather I roll
For what?
The vulture is the first step.
to understand what it is I'm looking at?
I mean, you would understand exactly what that is in the description I gave you. There's no roll required here, unless you're looking for something in particular.
Yeah, alright.
I don't get what you were trying to ask me.
Well, the thing is, I don't think I've seen these.
You've seen those animals
Uh,
before.
Oh, yeah,
I mean, it's just a stone block with a painting on it.
Do you describe it to us? Sorry.
Yeah, I do. In my very special voice.
There was something about the vulture on the plague. The vulture is the first step, it said.
I glance over at you and I raise an eyebrow and
There was no mention of a vulture there.
contemplate.
Yeah, but it's animals, is the point. They're basically saying, this is not
Oh.
what we're looking for, we're trying to find a vulture.
Are we?
Yeah, because a jackal is a
Amazing.
canine.
Then it
We've
might
also
have
found-
nothing to do with the vulture.
We found other heads like this. All animals.
Those were the clues for this row. And we've already done the first one.
Let's see.
And the last one, I think.
Yes.
How about we check the door first?
Very well. Let us
So
do
who is
this.
opening the door?
I'm stepping back.
Umbra, it's not like you to be a coward.
Suppose.
I've died once. I've got a slither of my soul left. I think being a coward in the sense
So you're
is
making a
kind
new
of,
guy do it.
Yes, always.
I'm gonna see and try how good he is, I suppose. Very well.
It's a
describe the door.
stone door. You can see a handle. You reckon you probably need to pull it towards you? Rather than push it?
Right. I lay my hand upon the handle and I try to turn the handle. If it has such a mechanism,
So,
that is.
stone door with a handle that you grab onto and pull. I'm going to try and turn the stone. That's what you just said.
Well, you
Okay,
never know. You
he was
never know.
imagining
No.
a door handle
This,
like
it's not like a doorknob or anything like that. It's like, you know,
It's like a push-pull door.
Gotcha. I was
But there's
thinking
no
there was
doorknob.
some sort of stone mechanism or something like that,
Nope.
or like a hinge. Whatever. Right, I
Okay.
attempt to
You
pull it.
pull the door open, and this chamber contains a stone font filled with a steaming green liquid. Beyond it, a shadowy figure stands at an open door on the far side of the room. The figure's back is towards you, and it seems to be a perfect shadowy replica of you, Nilwem.
Peculiar.
what is it that you see?
There is this green filled wellspring. Fumes coming from it. And then there seems to be an individual. An individual whose shadow are strikingly similar to, well, myself. Much to my surprise.
Slake your shadow at the font.
I will peek around the corner and take out the room.
Yeah.
Language question. What is slake
Um,
exactly?
Thank you.
Oh god. It comes from the phrase slake your thirst. To slake, quench or satisfy one's thirst. Combine quicklime with water to produce calcium
Okay.
hydroxide.
Okay. If you move, how does the shadow react?
I
The
raise
shadow
my right
raises
arm.
its right arm.
Oh, I see.
It
Try and-
reacts identically.
Try and make it drink.
It is currently facing away. Okay.
I turn around.
Meryl, you can currently
I turn
see into the
around.
room, can't you?
Yeah, I
Yes.
basically peeked
Okay.
around. take
As
a
he turns around, the shadow turns to face you, and you see that this shadow duplicate has a terrible and deadly aspect. The horrific visage is locked in a silent scream, and can you make me a wisdom saving throw? This is Meryl.
With pleasure.
Yep.
Oh, Meiril.
Meryl,
Oh, Jesus Christ.
you dropped to 0 hit points. Oh, you see
see
him.
this?
You see him collapse in
Follow
front
you.
of you.
I wasn't bleeding out or anything, was I?
Yeah.
I dropped to 0 and stable, right? Already?
Okay.
I guess precautions are always fine.
Yes. And as such, I also...
I
What
will.
in the nine hells?
I also go ahead and do this. Come on. That would be 9.
Oh.
Now would you try and not do that again?
Don't turn around. Whatever you do, do not
I
turn
mean, it's
around.
exactly mirroring Nilwen's actions, so he's fine.
I am also, you know, leaning forward right now.
Yep.
As I follow Sakaria's instruction, I gesture as if I'm drinking from a font in front of me.
So you're gesturing as if you were drinking from it.
Yes, I'm gesturing in front of me.
Oh, that was a wisdom. Never mind, wisdom check. Never mind. I just remember. I saw Papa's awful spirit. It's
Yeah,
check. It's not
sorry,
saving
Neb,
throws.
can you clarify what you're doing?
As I have my back turned
Yeah.
towards the room, I suppose that the shadowy figure is still observing my movements to the point, and as such, I lean forward and gesture as if I would have had a font in front of me from which
Okay.
I drink.
You hear the sound of slurping from behind you. And Meryl, out of the corner of your eye, not looking at the visage, you can see that it's currently draining a rate of about 5 pints a round. It'll be just short of a minute before the font is fully drained.
Seems to be doing something. Just keep it up. Sorry, that really took it out of me.
I will hand you a potion of healing.
I smile and make it back. How much is
Yep.
it? 2d4 plus 2?
A little short of a minute goes by, and the font seems to be fully drained, the figure disappears, and you hear a small clunk, as it sounds like something just dropped into the bottom of the font.
I stand up again, and I turn around. To
Is
meet again.
Jar Jar real smooth?
What's that, Umbra?
I said in Jar Jar real smooth because he said turn around.
Shut up, you. Either way, so I turn around and I look yet again at the font, and
No,
the creature is still
shadow
there,
disappeared.
I suppose.
I did say this. I just didn't remove the token. And you can see that a 1-inch diameter eyeball made of incandescent orange crystal appears to have appeared at the bottom of the font.
I
You
attempt to
pick it up. It is
inspect
an
it.
eyeball made out of orange crystal.
Can I arcana check
It's not
the hell out
magical.
of that?
I turn to Meiril and say in a whisper, "Is a crazy one too?"
I'm
apparently."
pretty sure that Meryl had retrieved a very, very similar thing from the tunnel. Yeah. Meryl had retrieved... Oh no, it wasn't Meryl, it was Moral that gave it to either Sakaria or Mercy, a red crystal eyeball. This one is orange.
I have
would not
nothing
know.
of this. I wouldn't. I have nothing of the.
I distinctly
such
remember
on my
Moral
character
saying he
sheet.
gave it to one of you guys before going back into the tunnel. So somebody forgot to note it down.
Yeah.
Probably me. It's usually me. Isn't it in the bag?
It might be. Either way, I suppose either of you would have recognized the shape, at the very least.
I suppose so.
As I hold it in between my fingers, looking at it. I hold it up, noticing that you are standing behind me. Does this interest you?
We found something similar earlier. Still not sure what it's for. Is that a door in front of us?
Yes, on the far side of the room.
Who's taking photos?
Taking
That's
selfies,
me.
mate.
Meiril wanna look good when he's injured on the floor.
On their side.
I know, right? Either way, I turn around and I hand the gem. I thingamabob over to Sakaria. I don't have use for this.
So
We
if
keep
this
it
one
as
is.
Yep.
Yeah, this one is
You
orange.
now have red and orange.
orange eye gem thing.
Eyeball. Very, very deliberately an
no-
eyeball.
I have
Oh.
no use. I have no use of this macabre.
Fine. Orange
Yep.
eyeball gem thingy.
Yes. If that is what you prefer to call it, then yes.
Yep, she's the one to deal with macabre if anyone is.
So I do. This is one of those times where I
Oh,
have to be
yes.
specific on what the treasure is for a reason.
Mm?
I suppose. Did you say that
On
was
the
a
far side of the room, yeah.
I look upon it.
Nope.
Does it have any carvings or anything like that?
Yep.
It's just a door. Well, then
Pull or push?
Push. This one is push.
It's a revolving door.
I open it.
It's a dusty, small room on the far side.
My instincts tell me very immediately.
That there's nothing here.
I look that I should look for hidden
Cool. Make
doors
me an
and passages and
investigation
stuff like
check.
that. I can try.
Okay. You spend a
I can
long
definitely try.
moment looking around trying to figure it out, and then the realization hits you that this is part of the mirror effect of the room, and it only exists to complete the whole mirrored room on both sides, and the shadow mirroring your actions. And you realize had you stepped backwards, the shadow would have walked this way originally.
Ah. Fair enough. I'll leave it as it is. Well, shall we be on our merry way then? Unless... Or... what was your name again?
Meryl.
Meiril.
Moral was someone else of our group.
Oh, so you genuinely had a party member named Moral then?
Yes, indeed we did.
That's peculiar, but interesting coincidence, I have to say.
Very much so. We never knew each other until we entered this jungle.
Either way, do you feel well enough to proceed?
I wouldn't mind a rest of some kind, but I should be able to continue for a little bit. I
Very
just
well.
have to concentrate on not getting hit.
Concentrate very long and hard on not getting hit. That sounds like a marvelous idea.
May I ask, how did your combat style go?
Oh, it is quite magical.
Great. Not that I have anything against magic. It's just
As
everyone
always.
appears to be that way inclined, and usually ends up being me on the front line.
I raise an eyebrow.
If
Let
you
us-
have,
Let's pray that it shan't come to the time where I will have to display my spells.
well, let's hope that we don't, but I'd be very happy if you're willing to, should it come to it.
Naturally, but let us hope that it doesn't come to the fact that I would have to.
Let's press on then.
This way, was it?
Northbound, I believe.
The
Yes.
eyeballs are still
North
watching you with
Downs.
amusement.
Of course they are.
Hmm.
You know what?
I look at the eye thingy. I look at the eyeballs. Look at the eye thingy. There is a theme. here.
You get the feeling
You
that
know
if
what?
the 10 eyeballs in the nearest moss could blink at you, they would.
You know what? I look at them, very amused.
You get the feeling that if it was humanoid and had a tongue, it would be stuck out at you right now.
But of course it would. I chuckle slightly as I keep pressing on. Oh, what is that? A pathway? Small, I reckon.
It looks like the end of a crawlway.
Folly. What do we have here?
And that's
Be
the
careful on these things.
stone door. Well, that's the stone block.
Stone block. And it
A-
had,
a painting of a 7-foot tall jackal-headed humanoid with a circular gold medallion around its neck. All around the figure are carvings of locusts that Sakaria and Nilwem know closer. You can see that one of them, roughly where the right hand of the figure is, appears to be a button.
That one is a button.
I look at you and I raise both my eyebrows this time. You have quite good vision, my lady. As I hold my finger up towards the button, but not pressing it. Again, looking over at Sakaria, raising an eyebrow, as giving the gesture, should I?
I can mage hand it if you prefer.
I'm getting around the corner.
That would be preferable, actually, yes. I squeeze through. There we go. Squeeze.
Okay.
I mage hand it. Taking as much of a step back as I
Okay,
can.
you mage hand, and the first 5 feet of the stone block, sinks out of the way, leaving the head and neck and very upper torso of the jackal-headed figure, but the rest has slid away into the floor, revealing a room beyond, where 4 torches illuminate stone sphinxes crouched in the corners of this 15-foot high room. The torches cast flickering light across hieroglyphs carved into the tiled floor. At the centre of the room, a golden-laid funeral barge stands atop a 3-foot-tall stone dais. Resting on the deck of the barge is a small golden sarcophagus decorated with horned rabbits. A dark shaft opens in the ceiling directly above the barge, while to the south a corridor is visible through a set of fangs carved into the wall. The skeleton of a dwarf sprawls on the floor east of the barge, clad in a tattered yellow turban and dusty chainmail, and clutching a bronze shield. Give me 1 moment to take care of something. Just check that that's okay. That is on the layer I thought it was on. I'm going to move you over to a map of the room.
Goodness gracious me.
You are still outside. This is just so that you can see, because I'm not detailing what carvings are on the floor in every area.
You aren't you?
And have a handout if that's easier for you. Or if you wish to be moved back to the other map, just for sense of it, there will still be the handout there. Sakaria, can you make me a perception check from where you're standing?
Sure thing. No. That is a natural 3 plus
Nope.
0. 3.
What's Nilwem's passive perception?
Oh, his passive perception? That is an astounding 19.
Okay. Looking a bit closer, the medallion that's worn by the jackal-headed painting catches your eye, and it seems to actually be a 6-inch diameter gold disc, engraved with the face of a horned devil, its mouth agape. And you think you can see something through the hole that forms the devil's mouth, but what that something is, you can't quite see without standing on your tiptoes against someone else to look.
This reminds me, was it in a shrine or was it at the entrance of the tomb that we had?
It was in a shrine.
It was
yes.
in a shrine, right? That we had, yeah. Do I see anything that makes me think of, was it?
Let
Vision?
me double check the 9 shrines so I get this correct for you. Do.
And if so, is Obo telling me to just not bother?
Do either of you have? Do any of you have Nang Nang or Shigambi?
Nope.
It
well, I
was
don't know
Ijin
about the
Shrine. Obo's just kind of like, oh, it's Ijin. Okay. Nope.
Papa's all.
Then you get no guidance from the spirits in this area. Only Nang Nang and Shigambi have stuff to say, and yeah, it was Ijin Shrine that was the one with the parcel floor.
Okay. Is that supposed to be a jackal?
No, that looks more
Yeah,
like
that's
a
a
beetle.
beetle. There's a
Oh, yeah, I
vulture.
see it
There's a
now.
vulture directly
Anything
ahead of
that-
you.
Vulture?
So what are you looking
Yeah.
for?
A footprint?
What are you looking for exactly?
I'm trying to relate this to one of the clues, but we might.
The towers in the room are.
Alright, we have the vulture as the first step.
You
That's
have
clear.
uh,
That's
scarab, door, vulture, scepter, urn, foot, and serpent. Oh, and
What
reed.
was that again?
From top right, working its way around. Initially, it's scarab, door, vulture, scepter, urn, and then you've also got foot, reed, and serpent.
Anyone's got an Only Connect joke?
A what?
You don't watch enough TV, guys.
No, I don't.
Well, I do believe this is the same kind of puzzle as in the shrine, where we have to not step on the same thing each time.
Then, pray forgive my prudence, but is there not an individual laying right in front of us?
Yes, there is.
Tell me, does he seem to have stepped on the same symbol twice?
No.
Well, it is hard to
From where he's
say.
laying, doesn't look like it.
Looks like he
Yeah.
came from the same way we came.
That's straight out.
Can I try and see what it is that's killed him? From back here.
I mean, it's not obvious at all what killed him. He's his body's lying atop the floor tile bearing the foot hieroglyph. He might have some treasure on him, but what killed him is not clear at all. Not obviously,
Guards,
nope.
Spikes to the floor.
I will also note that each of the 4 statues, because apparently it's flavour, depicts a life-size Gina Sphinx.
Life size, what kind of
yep.
sphinx?
Gyno.
Dino sphinx.
Gyno. Just
Male.
female.
Ah,
No. Andro is male.
Yeah.
I thought the normal Sphinx was the Sphinx.
Yeah,
The
female
female-
Sphinx.
Yeah, you're right.
A Ganon Sphinx bears the head of a
What's the
humanoid
lighting
female.
like in here?
Bright light. Don't even think about it.
I mean, I do have a misty step that does not require darkness. However, I cannot help but think that this place would be protected somehow against it.
Oh, I'm more magically inclined. I'm not able to make a read.
I can cast detect magic if you give me time.
I'll keep my ears peeled for if there's anything on its way coming.
Hey DM, how much magic is there
If we
with
take
my
the time
magic?
to cast detect magic, each of these sphinxes radiates auras
Yep.
of abjuration and conjuration. The
Yeah, they're the things
Yeah,
that will
the
kill us if we do them
sarcophagus,
all.
let me just check the range on it. Detect magic is 30 feet or 60 feet? You can detect 4 distinct areas of abjuration magic around the sarcophagus, although they seem to be currently dormant. Okay, if it's 30, yeah, I'll still say you detect it. This is basically this entire area has 4 distinct currently dormant sources. Beyond that, you don't detect anything obvious, but
What about the floor?
yeah, would you like some floor with your magic? You can't get a read on the school, but you reckon there's some kind of magic involved, but it's not being picked up by detect magic. There's something else going on here, or it's just more powerful than you've encountered in the past.
Right, so I can't tell anything about the square
Nope.
the skeleton is on.
Nope.
That would help me. Great.
The vulture is the first step.
Yes, that is not a very helpful hint, whoever put those hints.
Well, no, I'd like to agree with that, considering it's pretty straightforward. The vulture is the first step, but be the second step, and the third, and so forth.
Well, clearly the footstep is not the second step.
I would reckon that is the case.
Would anyone like to take a step onto the vulture and see if anything happens?
I would have
Not
to say.
especially, no.
I would have to say, preferably not.
I have reason and excuse to not do this time.
I'll shoot an arrow through the room.
Nothing happens.
You lose an arrow.
Can I take a step back and look at the carvings up on the entrance?
The carvings of the locusts or something else up there? They're just...
Yeah.
The carvings of locusts are just carvings of locusts. Beyond the one that was the button that opened the room. Make me another perception check.
I will change die. Hey, that
Yeah,
is
you
slightly
also
better,
noticed what no
16.
one noticed about the medallion being... Yeah, it seems that there's something within the mouth of the horned devil face, but from where you are without standing on your tiptoes or being boosted, you can't see what.
Should we have still any corpse in the bag?
Engren, who I believe would not.
Ghostgrin
like it
swears
to
at you for the
destroy his body.
suggestion.
Right.
From somehow he's just kind of walking with a wall at the moment. He just swears at you, sticks his head out of it and swears at you.
Well,
Any of the
don't
other
you
two
dare
men-
touch it.
Have any of the other two mentioned about the thing in the devil's head?
Uh,
No.
what's that, sorry?
I would. There is
Um,
something in the devil mouth.
I quite spotted it too, but I wasn't sure if my eyes had deceived me or if it had any sort of importance. I'd like to take a closer look.
Is there a wall on the opposite
Uh,
side?
What, of the room?
No, of like the so. If my head was in the location of the devil's head, would it be looking at a wall, a different?
The devil face is the medallion on the painting of the jackal-headed figure. It's slightly above the stone block that slid out of the way.
Basically, what I'm saying is, could I run up a wall
Yes.
to get level to it?
Let me move
and
you.
see
I
inside?
didn't understand
Right,
your question.
Then I shall.
You weren't particularly very clear with that. I mean, you've got to work around the peephole, but yes.
I can give you some room.
Gain the ability to move along vertical surfaces and cross liquids on your turn without falling during the move.
But yes, you could climb up the wall and take a look that way. It's basically just...
So,
It's more for flavour than anything how you see into it, because it's like just be boosted by someone else or climb up the wall or something, just be able to see into the mouth. It's just a little bit above your head height.
getting a better
Okay.
look at this medallion.
Looking through the mouth of the medallion, you can see a clay, what you presume to be dial, etched with a hieroglyphic currently of a vulture.
Meiril, what does your eye see?
I'll hop back down. Are you able to mage hand that out for us to get a better look? That might help us with.
It's
this,
behind the
especially
medallion.
through the vulture.
Like, you had to basically look through the mouth of the medallion. Yes.
Oh, the vulture thing.
So medallion is the devil
Okay.
face. Looking through the mouth, you can see behind it is a clay dial that has the vulture currently on it.
My instinct as a player is if someone goes onto the vulture, that
It
will
changes.
change to the next step.
Sakaria, I beg you to trust me for one moment, would you?
Says the one who just fell at the sight of a shadow.
Fair. Before you fare on your way, allow me to give you this, as I lay my hand upon your shoulder and grant you guidance.
Alright, let's try this.
Sakaria, do well not to try and insult the one that your hands might be in, my darling.
As a note, I want to have a Reddit bonus action, if possible, to mage
To
hand
mage
the
hand the
fuck
fuck-
out of here.
Uh,
Not mage hand,
Do you-
to
If
stab the fuck
what
out.
hap-
mage
happens?
hand around.
If I feel like I'm gonna die.
Noted. Okay,
Okay, I step on the vulture.
two things happen. Those outside the room, you
She
hear a
dies.
click coming from the up where the medallion is, and you all hear a grinding rumbling as the stone block rises again behind Sakaria.
So I'm stuck in here.
Yes, you
We
can.
hear
Can
this
I-
about here?
Okay.
It
Does
is
she have-
not
is it
airtight.
airtight?
I do not like this. I do not like this at all.
My
What is
braces
the
for
next
that.
symbol?
I will climb up.
It's now
take
displaying a
look.
serpent.
It's displaying a foot. No, it is displaying a serpent. Do not believe me saying
Are
a
you
foot.
taking a
It
look
is
at
in
the
fact
corpse,
a
by the way,
serpent.
Sakaria? Okay.
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
Trying not to press
Uh,
on the floor pad.
Doing a cursory search, you find his turban seems to be. You do this in mage hand. His turban seems to be set with a peridot gemstone, which is worth 500 gold. His shield you don't think is magical, and he has a belt pouch containing a 500 GP diamond and 2 1-inch diameter crystal eyeballs, one dark blue and one vibrant purple.
Okay. Just a sec.
500.
The diamond is worth.
It might be the material component of a raised dead spell.
Ha.
I know, right? Blue
Uh,
and what I think is
Dark blue, vibrant purple.
dark blue eyeball thingy.
Yep.
Vibrant purple.
Rainbow. We've got to find Skittles.
Yeah. Yes, the next
Oh, okay.
thing in the sequence is a serpent.
I'm gonna gingerly step that.
Click outside the room.
I then run up, hold myself as best I can to look inside,
Door.
and then drop down once I see it. Doorway.
Click.
I step. Next.
Read.
Jump up. Looks like a plant.
Scarab.
Climb up.
That's gonna be a scarab. Damn it. I'm gonna step to
You're
this
stepping to
one
that
because
one?
I can reach more things. Yeah.
Wrong lever, Kronk. Okay, let
Fuck.
me try and. I'm trying to find what happens when you step on the wrong tile, because that was the wrong scarab tile, friend.
But it's
Wrong
a
dial.
scarab.
Okay. The Force thinks
But fuck you, game.
there is actually a path to it. The 4 statues yawn, and masses of locusts fly out of their mouths.
Okay, can I step in on there?
You do quickly set to that, however, there is no cloud of locusts on that tile, and you take 50 points of piercing damage. You're dead.
Oh, I'm down.
Any creature reduced to
They're
0
dead.
hit points by this trap is killed and eaten to the bone by the devouring locusts.
Was she on the tile? Would
they
she be on that
appeared.
tile when she died.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I would.
I'm sorry.
Paper. I'm waiting for the paper. I'm sorry, but yeah, just waiting for the paper.
I have all of this stuff on me,
Join me in character number 4.
which is character number 1.
What? Oh.
I'm sorry, Meiril.
Oh.
I told you I was gonna die today.
Yeah.
This is how this day
Sakaria has been devoured to the bone by the locusts.
At the,
Sakaria
very
had a lot of shit on her.
at the very least, Meiril doesn't have to feel lonely anymore.
I don't think they're going to the same place. Unless it's being eaten by the soulmonger.
I think that's what he meant.
Well, at least we're gonna be there for a while first.
Do we hear anything inside? Or just-
You probably heard me scream.
Buzzing and then screaming.
There is a reason I rolled that publicly rather than GM rolling that.
Mm-hmm.
That is how
8.
many D10s? Holy cow!
Hey, can you just... Curiosity, because you took Sakaria away from me, apparently. How much... was
Your
my
max is 51.
HP? Yep, if I had been full, I would have lived. Ish.
And there was no saving throw on that one, I
He
guess.
just takes piercing damage.
It's-
The locusts form a single cloud that fills a 15-foot cube centered above the offending floor tile. Each creature in the cloud, when it forms, as well as any creature that enters the cloud for the first time on a turn or starts its turn there, takes 8d10 piercing damage. Any creature reduced to 0 hit points by this trap is killed and eaten to the bone by the devouring locusts.
Jesus Christ, that is harsh.
Fuck you, game.
Hey,
That's
at least it
neither-
didn't have a plus. I'm just gonna point out, at least it didn't have a plus 40 on its base, like what happened to Hooded Lantern.
I mean, Lantern got disintegrated. Yeah, you hear a scream and then it's what? Click, 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 click.
You know, something tells me that I think she stepped on the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Something tells me
I
you
would
do
have,
not have
yeah, I
much
would have
compassion
died
for your
instantly
companion.
on that tile.
Yeah,
I
sorry.
guess. It's okay. I was expecting to die today.
This
Yep.
is why we have backup characters at any given
Characters,
time.
plural.
Speaking of which, I
So-
need to finish my backup.
Oh, I need to actually get like my backup.
Just for
backup.
info, that was
Sorry.
my inventory.
I
I'll
need to
get
get
to
my
it.
backup and my backup on paper at some point.
Something tells me neither
Oh,
of you have
shit,
had much
I put it
compassion
on-
for your
I put it
companion.
in the wrong chat. Thank you.
Oops.
Yeah.
Oh, I am dead.
Right, yeah. Jesus Christ, yeah, you do have a lot.
I have all of the potions of healing.
It's a real damn pity that you didn't have that insect repellent on you.
I was gonna make a joke about that actually. I'm just gonna go get a bottle opener real fast. I'll be right back.
Click on the button that we had
Yep.
before to raise
And
the
inside now you can see the freshly devoured corpse of Sakaria.
Did
Yes.
I knew she was a red wizard, didn't I?
I mean, the red tattoos, the red robes.
I mean,
I know, I'm just making sure.
what tattoos now?
Hmm.
Oh, it's not written, but in my inventory there is a spellbook also.
Yeah.
My giant spellbook.
I could have used
The
that.
arcane spells.
I mean, I'm an arcane.
I don't think you can learn new spells.
Maybe not. By the way, I'm gonna go get that bottle opener.
Well, I sort of look
No,
around.
it is on the list. Spellbook, third item.
I have the bottle opener.
I feel like I see where she made her mistake.
Yeah, there's a hovering, buzzing
Do you want-
cloud of locusts centered above that square at the moment.
Do you really want to try? Do we need
Perfectly.
that room to build her stuff?
You definitely need all of the stuffs that I have on me. Well, maybe not all, but I think the eyeballs and the skeleton keys.
And you know,
Because
a
I
ring
have
of protection
the
is
two we
always
have.
good, and the loot.
And the pearl of power.
And the spell scrolls.
You needed your companions. You needed your companions' things, did you not?
Companion is one way of putting it, not my favourite way, but yes.
Very well, I shall tend to it.
I would insight check that as Meiril, but I'm pretty sure it's not needed, really. Meta-wise, I know I believe you, but that would be a moment where Meiril would go, new person. New person. Well, just in case it changes, you best still listen to whatever I read.
I shall pay attention. To the best of my abilities, mind you.
May your God guide you and those around.
My goddess, she's with me at all times. I am not worried. I step,
so.
I
Okay,
step onto the
the
vulture.
stone
I'm gonna eat
the
some
stone block
chocolate.
rises behind you.
The chocolate falls through your ribcage.
If
You did
only.
that. If only that would have been funny.
No, it's just gonna stay on my thighs and my belly.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Stone block rises again. Click. The locusts are still there currently.
Direct me.
I take a look.
Serpent.
Snake.
It's the exact same path, but the locusts are still there.
Take a
And
look at the
they
door.
reach
Uh,
onto there, don't they? It's diameter.
Basically like that.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
And can
They
you
not?
see the aura that's there?
Can't see the aura, we can see the square box.
The square box that I added.
I cannot see an aura, I can see a box. But for vision, it's good enough.
Then, assuming that, as GM has told me, it is the same, I'll end up reading out door whenever Nilwem says they're on it.
It's
Okay.
been about 30 seconds. It looks like the locusts are starting to disappear. You reckon, give it another 30 seconds and they'll be gone.
I sit down upon the tile, I stand
Okay.
up.
Another 30 seconds pass and the locusts are gone.
Are you okay in there? It's gone silent.
I'm still with you.
Good to hear.
I arise.
Presumably,
Holy
Plant
sh!
is next if I'm
Uh,
correct
The reed.
in thinking that.
Yes.
Yeah, so Plant, as Meiril would say.
I step onto...
Yep.
Because
Scarab.
Meiril and plants.
Read out Scarab.
Before I do as such, I begin to scour the inventory of our friend here for whatever might be...
Uh,
what?
okay. You can basically take whatever, although as your hand brushes the first spellbook, the big one she was carrying around, it bursts into flame and burns to ash.
Goodbye, all of the spells of level 5 and under. You will be missed.
I should have expected as much. Why do you have a vial of dead elf blood?
Hush! To cast Conjure Demons!
Fair enough. This goes
Well, I guess I'm gonna change my dice because those were 10 for Sakaria.
Wand was your focus, wasn't it?
Yep.
Look at all that shit that was belonged to my characters.
Okay, it's because you looted Meiril. And I looted you. But basically it's
did the
because
exact same
you
thing that Chance did.
you looted yourself, so
I like how you did the exact same thing Chance did and hoarded all of the potions of healing.
well at this point I was already possessed
Yep.
by
Oh,
Obo,
do
so
you
that
grab
makes
the
sense.
ring of protection, no one? Can I ask you to make a charisma
Yes, I
saving
do.
throw?
Well, it is a foreign deity. Yes, I will make you a charisma saving throw.
Yep, and you are now
Okay.
possessed by the spirit of Obalaka, which used to belong to Miya.
Unless
I
I
like Obo, she was nice. Non-intrusive.
put on the
Okay.
ring of protection too.
There's the handout.
I mean, heck, why not?
Oh right, I need to take Wongo away from you because Moral died. What was Wongo's
Yeah,
item? The Mace of Terror? Was that
it was a
on Moral?
mace, yeah. I
Yeah.
don't think so. I think I gave it to someone.
No,
Oh.
I think you still had it.
Yeah, there's no reason.
Do you still have access to Moral's
Oh,
character sheet? or did you entirely
I never
delete it?
delete characters
could
when they
have been-
die.
You can go through the inventory.
You
and see if
don't
it's
have
there.
it in his inventory.
Or it could have been
Very
put
possible.
into the bag of holding.
It could be. I now also have a little bit more armor class, which is welcome.
Or you need to attune to it.
Yeah. Yep.
Before I get the armor.
Yeah.
And so I should change that to 17.
Yeah, you don't just immediately get it because you put it on. It's an attuned item.
Alright.
And don't change it back to what it was. There's a better way. Oh, there's a better way of doing it.
Okay.
Just
Uh,
keep the. Do you
Yeah, yeah,
see
fiddle around.
under the item it's now gone grayed out? When you attune to it, just take equipped and it'll automatically apply the modifier to you.
fair
That just
enough.
tells you that you've got it, but you're not attuned to it because it's automatically does the modifier because roll 20 is amazing.
Okay. You have a vial of Korra's blood.
Yup.
For fuck's sake! Triangle skeleton key. Yes, please. If I could spell. Skeleton key.
Strangely appropriate music.
I'm just gonna call it Skelly key.
Yeah, I believe you got triangle and square now.
Skelly key. We do have potion of poison. Orange eyeball gem.
I think the potion of poison has a. I don't know if it's this one or is it a different one. Might be a different one. Have a small rope around, not rope, but like thread around it.
No, that was in Strahd. which I also still have.
Let's see, orange eyeball gem. How much was it? How much was that?
The eyeballs have no
Was
value.
it just a
No,
gem?
it's
The eyeballs are
Value.
kind of important for the tomb.
Pearl of power.
Oh yeah, that was Nang Nang's, wasn't it? Hey, I'm gonna need another charisma saving throw.
hey.
Sure.
You pass.
That's
You
a little
pass.
bit better.
Poor Nang Nang.
Fuck Nang
Everybody
Nang,
passes
she's
with
chaotic
Nang
evil.
Nang.
This is also
Sorry,
why-
neutral evil.
I mean, I'd rather not fuck the grung, but
Well, I see what you mean. What was
Lawful neutral.
Obolaka, by the way? Oh, nice.
Hence why she was more than happy to deal with Sakaria.
Well, I'm chaotic good, so I mean, oh, that's gonna be interesting. I love it that you have like spell book, second spell book, third spell book.
Yeah, the first spellbook burned away to ash as soon as you touched it. That was the one you got
was the
from
second
the
spellbook?
goat head figure. Rip ever removing curse.
right. Mm-hmm. Although I'm pretty sure clerics have access to that.
Yeah.
I do not think I have access to that kind of stuff. Alright.
Yeah.
Mia,
same
for
with
you,
those
this
guys.
would probably be a
Consult
good time
their
if you
own
need to take a break for anything.
Oh yeah, I've been eating chocolate, drinking water, rereading my character
Hey.
sheet.
I don't know if you needed
Like,
to get
don't worry
up or
about me.
something.
How much
500.
was the peridot?
I'm pretty sure.
Two? Jeez,
Because it was just taken off the dwarf.
dark. Alright.
Well, yeah, it's written on the thing. Peridot, 500 GP, diamond.
Yeah, but I was just making
And
sure.
you've
read
read
it
what I
right.
put in the additional features and traits, right? Okay.
Yes.
It's basically the same setup, but you know.
Alright, so do we need the poisoner's kit, healer's kit? What? Do we need the wild root?
You don't need it.
Meta opinion, poisonous kit, no one really needs it. Wild root was basically could be natured into anti-poison, I believe. Healer's kit works like spare the dying, except it has X amount of uses, and
Pretty sure the poisoner's kit was yours.
yes, it was, but no one here is proficient in poisonous kit.
How about sending stones?
Has a lich on the other side, although your character doesn't know that.
Neither does yours.
No, neither does mine.
But it's only one sending stone.
Yeah, it's just one sending stone.
It's like one walkie-talkie, and you go, "New phone, who dis?"
I'm gonna go ahead. Sending stone. Because my character is gonna assume that it was belonging to the entire party.
Oh yeah, the sending stone that currently doesn't work, but
Um,
is bound to the other red wizard. This is going to be fun.
oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay,
it
so,
is
are you ready
going
to
be so
continue?
very fun. Either way.
Yep.
Yes, Scarab was it?
Scary.
Scepter.
Scarab.
Staff.
Click foot.
Click foot.
But, and it should be good this time.
Click.
It wasn't good.
Earn.
Why do I not have full
Ah.
health?
Roger that.
I'm gonna put myself back at 66 because I do not know why I was at 60.
That's your problem, friend, not mine.
Is that okay with you?
It looks like a pot with a handle.
Pot with a
Um,
handle.
Is not a pot with a handle.
Only
It's an
they're only
urn.
looking at these.
Okay.
Much louder inside the tomb. Thunk. Sounds like the sarcophagus has just unlocked the
Oh,
things back to Vulture.
Vulture!
I step
Yep,
onto,
you step
the
onto the dais.
stairs right here.
And it looks.
Guys, he did step on the vulture.
Yep, you step onto the
Wonderful.
dais. Umbra doesn't know when to shut the fuck up so the DM can talk. And it looks like the golden sarcophagus is unlocked.
As much as it dismays me to do as such, I open the sarcophagus thing.
The sarcophagus.
Sarcophagus.
Which,
Yes.
as an
Yeah.
Egyptian, you should.
The
be
sarcophagus
familiar with.
contains the fragile bones of an almirage as well as its spiral horn, which functions as a wand of wonder.
Oh.
Miya, you're so sad that you're not a
Closer
wizard
on
now,
the
aren't you?
wall.
Yes!
I look closer on the wall.
What are you looking for? Can you
know
make me
what? I
another
just picked it
charisma
up.
saving throw?
For fuck's sake!
I
how
mean,
many
you've
cards
touched
wanna
3
get
of their
into me?
items so far.
Hiding in Nilwem's head.
One of Wonder is attunement by
Do you want
spellcaster, so
oboe?
maybe spellcaster.
Or do you want Idjin? This basically is deciding which. Well, do you want oboe on odds or on evens? Sorry, Idjin.
Okay, first, I want oboe on odds.
That's a 1. You keep oboe. As you pick up the horn, streamers of light emanate from its tip. As they swirl around you, they form into a spectral rabbit with a single horn on its brow. A female voice whispers, "Quick, quick, let me in. We must stop a Serac." But oboe wins, and Ijin returns to her horn. Mhm.
Quick question, actually.
Which is
Could
ironic.
I help aid to let that creature in?
Well, I've done the D4 roll. Oboe won the contest. The two hate each other.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
I
you keep
it
oboe.
either way. And that too. I was talking about the Wand of Wonders.
Okay, yeah, you keep the wand of wonder.
That is slot. That is empty. Okay. Wand of Wonder. No. And you said the next one was Vulture.
Well, you get the impression that the thing is reset, and now you've taken the wand of wonder, the stone block slides back down, and you hear a series of clicks coming from under every tile.
I understand that it is reset.
Looks like a vulture up there, but you do you, man.
Vulture snake.
there is no way back to the door apart. Well, the thing I'm basically telling you, the floor tiles have deactivated temporarily
The floor tiles
Temporarily,
have
because you've grabbed the
deactivated.
treasure.
Well, in that case, wait.
Was
Is it
there,
safe to step up?
was there
Uh,
a corridor
Yes,
or something?
on the
down there?
wall. Let me get the exact area that it would be on. I want to get the right tile. Out of my way, handouts. It would be in line there. There's the reverse of a pair of jaws. You can see a corridor through leading back out to the grand staircase.
It's safe to go there, right?
Go where?
Well, to the grand staircase.
Yeah,
Thing down south.
the floor tiles have temporarily deactivated. Okay.
I go there.
You do so.
Yeah.
You can't
Step
climb
up.
through.
Puzzle map.
It's not wide enough. It's not wide enough to climb through.
I
You
can't
can only
climb.
see through. The corridor
Right, what
leading
place?
back out to the grand staircase that you've been on the reverse side of earlier.
Alright.
Well, he wasn't.
You as a player were.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. I stand there, and I go.
The
Would you mind
stone
trying
block
to open
retracted
the door for me?
at the same time as the floor tiles deactivated.
Okay, so I step out of there.
Yep.
I step the heck out of there. I'm done with that.
And now everything is dark.
Yeah, it's I'm gonna just zoom out.
Actually, yeah, I still have
Yep.
vision from Sakaria's dead body.
Ah, there we are. Okay. Let's zoom back in. I should be standing there. Right.
Yep.
I should be standing there right about now.
Nope.
Did it's got the key on his floor or not?
Nope.
Sakaria should be around what?
Yeah.
There somewhere, I guess.
Yeah, but I'm there for vision.
Ah,
Basically, this is my invisible ghost. You don't see me. I'm not there.
Woo.
Sakaria be in the shadow realm and curse.
Skyrim's in the dead realm.
Fucking
Well,
hell.
Sakaria is definitely cursing.
She's there. That should have been my wand of wonders.
No, mostly I should not have gone into that fucking room.
50-50 chance.
So what happened in there?
The puzzle has been solved. I have found upon the sarcophagus. Gosh, that's hard to pronounce out. I have found in the sarcophagus a wand of wonders. I reckoned our little company that we have just forged might have good use of it, so I decided to bring it along with me. It does, however, hold some sort of deity.
Oh, it's one of those.
Yes, one of those.
One of my amulets also holds one of those. I believe a few of the characters we've come across appear to also be that way inclined.
Yes.
It's weird.
Yes. Very well. Shall we be on our merry way?
If you'd be so kind, just for the sake of making sure something like this does not happen again, now that our red wizard friend has stopped hoarding all of our stuff.
Well, perhaps maybe it was poor choice of words. Let us be on our way, at the very least.
May I ask of you to return our items back into a more safe location, preferably our bag here, if that is okay?
Ah, yes. Oh, certainly I can do that. So I put in the bag. In the bag, I put the dark blue eyeball gem. I put a diamond, a peridot, pearl of power, orange eyeball gem,
mean,
and
You can say all that, and you can like
all the stuff that I picked up.
actually write it in there.
We'll sort it out
Yeah.
after session anyway, otherwise we'll be here all night.
Alright, I
Yeah.
was supposed to give you...
Ah, thank you.
I love Wonder Wonders.
Oh, you're back.
Wands of Wonder. It is also attunement. Which, hey, you can attune to 4 stuffs.
Yep.
Because you.
Yeah, I'm
also-
assuming you've noticed that you've got your new token on the map as well.
I've noticed at first I was like, why do I have vision from 2 places? And then
Yep.
I scrolled down.
Who BRB'd? Of course he did.
Umbra.
You were stunned until the start of your next turn, believing something awesome just happened.
I'm back now, by the way.
Welcome back.
Where to next?
I suppose this crawled way should be suffice, or do you have any other suggestions?
I've been quite wary of crawl spaces, especially around this sort of area. There was another way that I know of, another crawl space. A crawl space nearby was the reason why my dear friend Meiril was killed, I believe. There was one that I didn't tread too, actually a couple I didn't tread too far in. Actually one such room we might have been able to attempt to clear out and hopefully set up camp. It seemed very easily defensible, I hope.
Very well.
Uh,
Very well.
Yes, we can rest
Perhaps we should not. Very well. Perhaps we should not pay heed to allow ourselves into such crawl holes. Do we return them?
We can try the room with one of those animal statues. I believe it was possible to move through, but well, moving through tight spaces is never a good thing in this place. The other location was a room, compact enough. We may be able to hold up in. It is dealer's choice, I would say. Which would you find more beneficial in such a situation?
I'm not quite sure, to be honest. I'll allow myself to
And
follow
Meryl, as you step
your
back out
lead.
into the corridor, through the wall of water, you can see a familiar figure. Seems to be reaching between the legs of one of the hawk-headed females in the south corridor. It's a
Can I
wall of
see through
water.
this? I thought it was just water.
Yeah?
Yeah. Didn't realise I
You
could
can-
actually
Yeah.
see through
You
it.
can see if
Like, it's distorted because of the water flowing, but you can see the figure.
Do I recognise the figure?
I mean,
or is it too distorted?
You have vision.
Yeah, dim light is different from blurred, though.
Resembles Lagota. Although wearing a suit of full plate.
I distinctively remember in my previous life that
Yep.
we heard her scream, right?
Wait, no, never mind. I didn't say anything.
I whispered to Mercy, I think I see Lagota, but that surely isn't possible, is it?
Well, you're here.
This all seems to be linked on the sliver. Hers was consumed, was it not?
It was. I think it was. So we should definitely be careful here.
Pardon the intrusion here, but what is it
I am
your
now
eyes perceive?
sitting in a pool of water,
Deadly. Come back.
or rather leaning against the wall because full plate.
According to the soulmonger that your companion so aptly spoke about, how is that even possible?
I do not fully know. I imagine the reason why I'm here is by dying and being trapped in there. Some part of my soul was able to be ripped away from it.
Can I
Anchored
make
to this body.
Can I make something out of this?
I don't understand the question.
Can I make something out of, like, how is
No.
she here?
Especially not Nilwem. Nilwem has no fucking clue.
I mean, with the information that he's been given, is more the point.
Meril's the only one who might have an idea.
Nilwem has no.
Yep.
Meiril was the only one. Okay, fair enough. Part of me tend to enter the room as well.
I should note, by the way, since you weren't here beforehand, I get a feeling you haven't travelled through here before, have you?
Have I
No.
travelled through here before? I do not recognize these parts now. Is there
Make sure
aught
you-
I should know?
Hold a trident before you go through
I
this.
think you still had 2 tridents. I don't know whether you took the others off the wall or not.
I think that all
Did
were on-
Moral still have
all on
one?
this side.
He would have.
When
Sakaria had one.
I imagine we just put them back on the wall, honestly.
Sakaria didn't have one on her character sheet.
Yeah, I forgot to write
Oh.
it down because
Then-
like I wasn't gonna use a
Then
trident.
there's
Presume it's just
the one
moved
that
on the wall.
Moral had, because I'm pretty sure he still had one, has reappeared on the wall on your side. The one that Sakaria had is still missing.
I'm just going to point out, would the spellcasters really be cataloging around a trident through little crawlways and into tubes and crypts?
Probably not.
I imagine we'd have just put them back on the wall,
Well-
ready for us to take
Well,
when we come
I
back.
thought that I
Makes
remembered
no
you
sense
saying that you were
lugging
holding
a
on to
trident
them,
on.
but whatever. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day.
I vaguely
Both
remember
warrior.
putting mine in my back, but
The two characters who would ironically want to keep them are dead.
Alright, if you guys wanted to keep them, then fine, yeah.
You know,
I'm pretty sure I
so-
remember
so-
both of them
horns
saying
and
that they were
tails and
holding on to
whatnot
them
and
still.
pride.
Yeah, if they clarified that they did, then yeah, fair enough.
They're back. Simply.
One of them is back.
I take the trident or a trident off.
I pick it up.
think that makes 3 anyway, right?
Shall
One's
we?
missing and one's...
Shall we present ourselves to your former and now future ally?
Still be wary. This could be... anything could be out to get us here. And this seems even more odd than my circumstance. And my party had full well right to not believe me when I came along.
Oh, still don't believe you.
Meryl?
Very well.
Mercy?
Take a few steps back there, Lagota. We're coming through.
Is that you?
What are you doing here, Lagota?
I'll move
I'm
You do such.
not sure.
What are parts around you?
It is you, Meryl.
How are you here?
Where is here?
A destination.
It's all so confused. How did I survive that?
Yes, how did you survive?
You did not.
Didn't.
The Soulmonger. How did you survive that?
I don't remember. I remember the jaws of that thing. And then
Now you're... Sorry, go ahead.
figures looming over me, and pain, and running, and it's all vague. And what is this? And in my hand I have a pale purple eyeball thingy.
That's what you were getting from the from behind the illusory wall.
Yep, but I don't remember why.
Yes.
Does it look like
And
the
I will
ones
also
we're
note that
collecting?
now you're through, you're able to see that the base area, the pommel of the longsword that Lagota has, as well as the left pauldron of her plate armor, appear to be branded with the sign of the Archlich. Although, the same thing as with Meryl, it looks like it's been scavenged and roughly put on, rather than shaped to fit her.
It looks like the same circumstance as me, but it still doesn't make sense. Lagota, we felt your soul be consumed by the Soulmonger.
That's not possible.
Correct, it isn't. But we felt it, and yet here you are, just like I am.
I'm
What
still
do you
quite
mean?
uncertain what this soulmonger is. But by the
What
sounds
do
of
you-
it,
What do you mean, just like you are?
I died as well. I died trying to protect
that is
I know
fairly
rules.
concerned.
and Angren. But all 3 of us perished.
Swingren is gone.
Angren's
What's
soul
Cora?
managed to linger a little more than
Listen
ours
to-
did.
What are Cora and Moral?
Dead.
How many companions have you gone
Do you want me
through
to
so
count?
far? It concerns me.
Oh yes, I would respect that.
3,
it would
4,
concern me.
5,
After all,
6, 7, 8, 9.
We-
9 PCs.
Are you counting the guides?
No.
He's not
Few.
counting the guides.
I'm also not
around
counting
5.
Dead Vex betrayed by Sakaria. I'm not counting Kaz or River Run Flask.
Mm. Well,
Yeah, we arrived in Port Nyanzaru with 5.
Would I recognize the name Port Nyanzaru? Port...
Y-
Port what?
Nyanzaru, the main port of this entire, and I will maintain it, island.
Fuck you.
peninsula.
That is me off character laughing, by the way. I've never heard of this Port Nyanzaru.
Zaru.
Zaru.
It's
Port
trading
Nyanzaru.
port. A lot of money goes through there. It's also the main area of civilization so far that we found. Everything else is just jungle and ruins and crypts and
Nilwem?
I'm from... well,
I sent you a message.
yes you did, but I have to go to it.
You said we were at our destination.
I will point out right now.
I am...
Here is not the best location for this discussion. I've just realised. Maybe we should
Hey
find someone
Meryl,
we
do you
can
remember
bunker
how
down.
this corridor
Yeah.
basically mirrored
No.
itself on this side, and Lagota's recovered an eyeball? Anyway, so you were saying, no one.
terribly sorry for the pause. I suppose the Archlich's spell had put me to... I suppose I'm still recovering from the shock. My heritage is of the Market Desert.
The Marquette Desert.
I suppose shut up.
It does
The
not
accent.
ring a
No,
bell.
it does not ring a bell.
It does not ring a bell.
It's actually called the Bazaar Desert.
Bidet.
Bidet.
I
yes,
will hurt you in
bidet.
the Exandria game. Hey, that's a nice cloudy you have there. Wouldn't it be a shame if something happened to him again?
Don't you fucking dare.
It comes back the next night, unfortunately.
Hey, that's a nice Brahmi you have there. Wouldn't it be a shame if he got
Proof that-
disintegrated?
It's fine,
No,
we're
that's fine.
Hey, that's a nice new character you have there in Tomb of Annihilation. Wouldn't it be a shame if something happened to... Oh, something happened to it.
Is there anywhere that you found that you deem safe so far, Lagota?
Memories are blurry, but DM, is there any way
This is
that
the safest place
I
you've come
remember
across. You've
vaguely?
encountered, the Tomb Guardians, the Tomb Dwarves. You've run up through the layers, though the path you took eludes you. This is the safest place you've yet encountered.
This seems like a decent enough place.
Whilst arguably so, do we want to be really sleeping in water?
Definitely not.
I understand I'm a city boy and all that, but trenchfoot is not really my cup of tea.
Did you find any dry small room in which there is nothing but a font? Sorry, that was a bit out of character, but
I suppose you do not feel like sleeping among this glaring eyes. But really, you have... But really, none of you have heard of the Marquette Desert? None. Why are you all looking at me as if I would have been...
is that like somewhere in the east?
It's near Ankarel. You not heard of that?
No.
Definitely not.
Very well. Never mind.
Anywhere nearby that's dry?
Oh.
There was, if memory serves correctly, there was a small room, a bit dusty. But through this way. Should serve as a
Umbra, check your PMs.
decent location so far. Yeah, I know, I'm on 19 health, 18 health. I want to rest. Priorities.
Let's go if you think it's safe now.
Do you want me to go first?
If that is what you desire, my lady.
Well, Meiril's shot up ahead, so I'm gonna follow.
I was doing 2x2x2, but I think I lagged out, so it's just shot before. But yeah, I made
You make it to the Chamber of Respite.
No, Meiril just that fast at crawling. Should we seal the chamber?
More secure, would be immersed to it.
Hey Mercy, can I have a look into the bag of holding?
Huh. What are you looking for?
My tools. This armor is like there's a crick in my shoulder and I think I have some oil.
Can I inside that?
I don't even remember where I call it.
Sure. I mean, do I need to roll
No,
when I'm
roll
telling
anyway.
the truth?
Okay. I'll pass the bag of holding.
Deception.
I mean, I don't know what I'm rolling, but that was a natural 18.
Seems to be telling the truth.
so-
I'll pass the
That-
bag.
Isn't it deception if you're lying and persuasion?
I generally have insight opposed to deception. Because mana are specifically
I'm
to
gonna-
insight, so that way you don't ever know whether somebody's telling the truth or lying to you when they make the deception roll, apart from when they tell you.
Fair enough.
I'm gonna pull out my smith's tools and like start taking off bits of the armor. We're taking a short rest here, right?
Are you
Okay,
taking
so
are you taking a short or a long?
how long has it
off.
been?
Bits of. I don't know.
It's
How long has
it's
it
the
been?
evening.
I'd be willing to rest for some time if that is what you desire.
I mean, I am rather tired. My sense of time is completely out of whack, though.
I assume that accounts for us all, to be honest. Rather,
Well, then I'm gonna take a look at my armor and try and make it better.
have it your way.
Put down the long sword. Look at it a bit in disgust. I miss my own weapons that I made myself.
You used to be a blacksmith, I think.
Yes, I was trained as a smith.
It is a fine art. That was useful, at the very least.
That it is.
Aye. Either way, if we intend to stay here for quite some time, do we need perhaps an order in which we are to make sure we are not besieged?
Yes, of course.
I can take first watch. or last, I do not care one way or another.
I'll do third.
I would like to take
Which
last if
puts
you take
Meiril on
first.
second.
I'm lagging shit.
So, do you want a
Yes,
perception
please.
check from me? What is Laguta's perception? Hey, she is proficient in that one. Not that
Okay.
it matters because that's a nat one.
Lagota, you
6.
are very tired, and you end up just kind of dozing, waking up.
Yep.
Rosie and that's with you, dozing, waking up. And then, as your watch is coming to an end about, about midnight-ish, because there would have been some time to chat before everyone settled down to sleep. The three of you, except for Nilwem, hear the death scream of Cora.
Oh, I think I dozed off.
I am fast asleep.
I turn over and fall back asleep.
That's what we felt. And you felt.
Well, that is not good.
Don't you understand why I had a small suspicion of how you...
Yes, Robot Meiril, I understand.
I barely understand.
I guesstimate what he's saying. As a note, would anyone tell me we have a Mace of Terror? Because if so, I wouldn't mind a tunic to it.
Oh, I'm sure. I don't even know that myself.
True.
Something I will have wanted to say before we gone to sleep, by the way, is towards Nilwem being a cleric, if he was able to get rid of curses.
I'm not.
If it's possible for you to do such a thing either tonight or tomorrow if need be, it'd be greatly appreciated.
I shall pray towards it. However my mother will answer or not, it is up to her.
I understand. Sort of. God stuff. I get it. Kinda.
Sorry, that's me off characters laughing actually.
Yeah. Will it have been my watch shortly after we're going to caught ourselves dozing, or would I have time to get back to sleep?
I mean, Lagota was on watch, so you were asleep. I mean,
Yeah,
it was right
you
at the
were
end of Lagota's watch.
Screamed awake.
Pretty much as she was going to wake you up anyway.
Right, so I'll take over then rather than go back to sleep.
Yep. And a perception check from you.
Yeah.
Okay, I do have means to.
Okay.
Is a 15.
Well, half an hour into your watch, Lagota's kind of sleeping okay. Nilwem is flat out. Mercy's kind of tossing and turning. Doesn't look like she's having a massively comfortable night's sleep, but beyond that, you don't really notice anything.
voice must be getting to her.
Yep.
She's taking 30, is she? Once 6
Okay.
comes round to her.
It seemed like for the last half hour of your watch she'd settle back down again. Okay, Mercy, can I get a perception check? Ian,
Oh no.
you don't notice anything, everyone seems to be sleeping fairly soundly though. Lakota seems to sort of half wake up every couple of minutes and then settle back to sleep.
Oh,
What?
damn it. Why?
What, giving
Why
Lakota
you
a
so-
bad night's sleep?
I know what's coming with that bad night's sleep.
Right?
I'll wake Nilwem. Was it? Yes.
Is that okay? with you?
Yeah. And
Alright, cool.
Literally every
Yeah.
time you long rest, you can prepare other spells.
final watch, can I get a perception
Alright,
check?
cool. Yes, you may. I'm going to use that die. Is 28 good enough?
Yeah, you notice that there's so much dust in here. It seems like whoever created this place has completely forgotten about this room. And you go to wake the others.
Yes, right.
However, Mercy, you gain no benefit from the long rest, and your max HP is reduced by 7.
Sheesh. That is
Okay.
The Gota just wasn't sleeping well. Mercy was having nightmares.
Okay.
I'm alright.
That does mean that you didn't
I've
get
had
to
worse.
restore any HP you had lost.
Yeah,
She
um,
hadn't.
I was on 73. My max is 1. I guess I'm on 71.
Hang on, you're on 73
Right.
out of what?
I was on 73 out of
So
70.
you are now
8.
on 66 out of 71.
71.
You gain no benefit from the long rest, and your
How
max
many
was
is
reduced
that?
by 7.
Yeah, but wouldn't that...
Wait, why would my...
Oh,
Max,
yeah,
no,
true.
but
It's not technically
permanent.
healing.
Yes,
Though,
I'm on 71.
I would say that the way it's
Not on
intended
73, that's...
would be that you are missing the same amount of health, because your max and your current, I believe, are supposed to go down at the same time, but whatever.
It will specifically state if the current is meant to decrease as well. Blood Hunter specifically state you
Where's
with
the
current
judge?
and
Yeah.
max.
Yeah, technically. Though I still say that, as intended, it would be that you're still missing the HP, because otherwise, gaining no benefit doesn't really do anything if you're not missing much. But anyway, I'm not going to argue it. I'm not going to have another session bogged down by an argument, so we're moving on.
This is fair enough.
So, you rise in the morning, Mercy. You did not sleep well at all. You had nightmares of claws ripping into you, teeth ripping into you, eyeballs turning you into dust. It was not a pleasant night's sleep.
May I grab that staff? I believe we can just put into the bag of holding.
I've done my armor, by the way.
Same. That's a fancy new weapon you've acquired.
And it might just kill me if I use it. I turn to Nilwem. If you could please see if there's any curse or such on here.
Ah, yes, I have spoken with my mother. There are means to remove curses.
Your
I
mother?
might want. We may talk more of this later.
Okay.
It will show in time. Either way, let's. Yeah, I might want to first and foremost identify what sort of curse we are dealing with.
Identify doesn't spot curses.
No, but does detect magic.
Nope.
No, I don't think detect magic does either.
Does not detect curses. In which way do you believe this item to be cursed?
Unsure, but we took it from a corpse and said corpse was changed, twisted, somehow.
Oh dear. Don't mind me. Don't mind me, I'm just doing some admin work.
Sorry, what? Okay. Can I make a corner check to determine how I should deal with this?
Identify doesn't tell you that there's a curse. Detect magic doesn't tell you that there's a curse. You can presume what you like, but you have no way of figuring out whether there is or isn't.
I think he's doing it but for more fluff. Because he has removed curse in his ass.
It doesn't really matter what you try, you won't detect a curse. Because
So I will not know
Yep.
if it's removed.
you don't
either
know
from
either way. That's how curses work. No matter what you try, no matter what checks you roll, there is no way to determine. As far as I'm aware.
Maybe a wish.
that. Gods know that I wish that I knew. Unfortunately, there is no way for me to tell if my magics will be sufficient to remove this curse. Nor can I tell if there is a curse at all.
I mean, better safe than sorry.
Indeed.
This is true. Hold on. Have you any sort of attunement towards this item?
No, I do not. We didn't want to risk it.
Might I borrow that weapon for a moment?
Right, hand it over.
I ritual cast detect magic to see if it is
It's magical.
It's the
Yep.
stuff of striking in our inventory, right? In our magic items.
Well, I don't know if it's magical. I know now. I come from a completely different world, although I don't understand that. I've never seen this stuff before. Anyways, unfortunately, we're considering how this process works with how I am to remove curses. I believe I am unable to remove the curse from this particular object, given that it is a cursed magical object. However, if you had any form of attunement towards it, I could have broken this attunement to it. Lest I
Pretty
cannot
sure
break
remove
the
curse can also remove the curse from a cursed item.
At your touch, all curses affecting one creature or object end. If the object is a
Yeah.
cursed magic item, its curse remains, but the
Oh,
spell breaks
mind
its
then.
owner's attunement to the object.
Okay, never mind.
This is why I wanted to check if it was magical.
Mm.
Unfortunately, I don't think I can remove the curse from this item should there be one. Use it with protection. Use it carefully.
I suppose we could take the risk, and should it be cursed and bind itself, you will be able to remove that then? And then
Should
remove
it be cursed in such a way that it cannot put it down, I can assure you that I can help you in putting it down without necessarily having to cut off your hand.
And that'll have to do for now. I suppose we have the entire day's worth for it.
Aye,
Should
that
take
we do.
risk.
Aye, that we do. Let us pray that it does not come to that.
I
As you
shall take the step of striking, and if people do not mind, I will spend some time attuning to it.
Do you guys tell... So, go ahead.
Do you know what's further down this corridor?
I never checked further than this. I didn't want to risk
Do you
anything
guys
any
tell
further
the
away
Goat
or
about the
last time I
spirits of
checked
the
it.
nine gods?
I don't fully understand them. I think this
Mercy.
isn't a party that's probably not going to tell.
I don't trust her. No way.
Do I know the god
Well, you kind
Obolak?
of,
Yeah.
you kind of have one in your head, so
Yes, but do I know from
Uh,
prior?
No,
This
she is
Obolak.
entirely new to you.
Obolak is entirely new to me. I am risk averse.
and probably glad not to be in the head of someone who constantly reminds her that she's not truly a god.
I mean,
Which Sakaria kept doing.
in the head of a cleric, when it's always going to be compared to their actual god, I don't think it's much better.
I think Obolaka is having troubles dealing with my mother.
So do we
Doesn't
want to
our
move
path-
forward or back where we came from?
First off, does an hour pass with ease?
I am
Well-
not certain. We are descending into this. What sort of structure was this again?
A tomb.
Tomb. How befitting. We were descending, were we not? I think I heard mention of that.
Correct. I believe there's still, from what I've gathered in my short time here, Mercy, please correct me if I'm wrong, we're meant to gather pieces of a key on each floor and make our way down.
Pieces of a key on our way down. And which floor were we on?
Third, was it?
If we count our entrance point as first and descending going second, third, I believe we're on third. Third layer, I suppose is the best way to do it.
And that which is immediately immediately
We
Next.
still need a key base from this floor, is what you're saying.
Correct.
it is what I
Right.
am trying to achieve as well.
Then we keep going.
I am a reminder about your
I'll
PM.
move
And yes,
first.
your time in this room is entirely uninterrupted.
Be my guest.
But yes, Amber, a reminder about your PM.
Yeah,
I don't
once,
think I'm
once-
actually there.
You
I
saw
think
her
she's going
reaching
through the
through the wall of water. It's not that distorted.
I was also very cautious in talking to my allies.
I remind you that Lagota reached through an illusory wall in a corridor that was mirroring itself, but fine.
Shall we just carry on?
Lagota has no
Oh.
idea that the room is mirrored, so
Also, arguably they're not. These little alcoves are not mirrored. That's throwing
Well,
Meiril
the
off.
crawl spaces were mirrored in that room, anyway.
What's that?
If you would give me a
Tell
moment,
what
Ned.
we are looking at, milady.
If you would give me a
No,
moment.
I was trying to be in
Two
character.
balconies face each other over a
I
vast
was trying
pit.
to be in character.
Between the balconies hover 5 wooden platforms, each one a disc 10 feet across. A single torch burns above each balcony. On the east balcony stands a rough-hewn 15-foot tall statue of a hulking fiend with furled wings and clenched fists. Set into the wall on the west balcony is a rusty lever in the up position. Do any of you have Kubazan? I can't remember who has what. Aijin got resisted, Kubazan got resisted. Okay, no.
Not me.
You receive no guidance in this room. It's
What does
a
this
hulking
statue look like
fiend
again?
with furled wings and clenched fists.
Well, that doesn't look very nice. I'm gonna try and squish through there.
Yeah.
More eyeballs in that thing?
Exactly 10 in every patch.
Alright.
What was this you said? A statue
Statue.
of...
A fiend.
How surprising.
How far up are we compared to the
You
floor?
are 60 feet above the pit floor. 15 feet below the ceiling. Lagota, you reckon that with a running jump, you could probably leap between each of the platforms with relative ease. You're strong enough. Meryl, you move back.
I
I had my sheets open and I couldn't get through at the time that they were closed.
I do not appear to have any rope. I'm pretty sure I can make the jumps. I don't know about the rest of you though.
I have other means. Although I would preferably not do such.
Well, Mercy, if you wouldn't mind letting me have a little bit of a running start.
Alright.
What's the lighting in this room?
The
Yeah.
torches above
the
each
only
of
light
those
sources.
things, right?
On the balconies,
Yeah,
yes.
Does that cast bright light on the actual... Where the balcony's at the end, or the pedestal things, table things?
The balconies.
Oh, on the balconies, I guess. Okay.
Right.
So I'm gonna run.
Nope.
And
You're strong enough that
do
you
I need
can
to make a check,
auto
or-
succeed the long jump. It
Alright,
bobs a
is this
bit when
thing
you land
stable?
on it, as though it was floating on water, but you regain your balance really easily.
Alright, Lagota.
Seems to be. Alright. Next jump.
Bob, bob, bob.
Run up. Yep. Next jump.
I'm not even going to bother saying it.
You make it.
Oop, do I see that scroll
It's
space
at
and
the
what
height of
is
the
it?
balcony.
There's a crawl space here, but I don't think I can get to it. I'm gonna
You do, sir.
jump through there.
Yep, that.
What?
there.
Yeah, what can I see
Not
through
really.
that?
You can kind of see the moss, that's about it.
More moss?
So technically speaking, without torches you wouldn't know that the moss was purple. Because dark vision is black and white. Yeah,
True, but there's more moss here.
but yes.
There's a stairs here. Do you guys want me to try the lever, or do you want to cross first?
I am uncertain of my decision here. I shall leave it in your hands.
It's score equals
Yes.
for long jump, right? So I'll be at 12 feet.
Not automatically.
Would 12 feet make it to there from that last one? Could give it a shot to try and make it across myself.
Before you do as such, allow me.
I give a nod.
Give it your best.
To this one.
You shadow
here,
stepping?
This third one in.
I fucking hate shadow
Shadow
monks.
step.
He has to jump the last ones.
I can make to the edge of that one with shadow
Um,
step as well, can't I?
Give me a moment. No, the final one is in bright light. Yep,
Even the edge?
2040. Torchlight. That is bright light.
Right. It's just how the dynamic lighting is showing on ours. Then I show shadow step to this one here. Just be grateful I'm not a wizard as fly. And I shall
Can you make me an
take
acrobatics or an athletics check? I will give you your choices to which.
Jeez, I wonder.
You fall.
acrobatics.
Oh,
Guidance, guidance! You have guidance!
Yeah,
you fall.
13.
And you take... I'm not going to bother getting my d6s out. I don't know what that does.
Let him take his roll, it's fine. No, let him do his roll.
It would be 66, so 19.
Even if Slowfall, I wasn't a monk, which takes 45 damage off any fall damage, I don't take fall damage because Papa's up.
Fair. You're on the floor. I hate
I will
monks.
climb if I can. Hey, even I could be literally any class right there.
Yeah,
and
but
it made
take
no
45
difference. That was
off
Papa's
of any
Ottle's
fall.
work.
I fucking hate monks.
Yeah.
Yep.
They are a balanced class.
Stuff in the D&D books isn't... Stuff in D&D
When it
books
comes
isn't
to
published because
Folly,
it's balanced.
No.
It's published because it's fun. I maintain that monks are stupid. Anyway.
Monks are fun. I miss
It's
my
published because it's fun. Anyway, moving on.
monk. Sorry.
It's not even the most popular class. I'm climbing back up onto, because I take it I
Correct.
can't climb up on the balcony because it's a balcony.
60 feet above
Oh
you.
wait, how high is the balcony? Hmm. No, I can do this. I take a run up the wall, dash with key point and make the jump onto the
Okay.
balcony.
You sound so unimpressed. How dare we use our abilities? I mean, I crossed with no checks.
that
and you
was-
didn't seem to have a problem with that.
You're using your key point. Okay. Please continue to burn your resources.
Oh no, 1 out of 9 that I had full of in my long rest.
Do they come back on a short or on a long rest?
So short.
I get them back on short.
Mercy, wanna give it a try or not?
What do you think that lever do?
I have no idea. Can I inspect the lever and see if I can figure out?
You reckon you
What
could
it
pull
is
it down?
linked
What
to
it's
or
linked
something.
to, you've got no way of determining without pulling it.
Yep, no clue. It's up to you guys.
I'll give it
I-
a try.
And you're what,
I am
Mercy?
not want to make those sorts of decisions.
Okay.
I'll jump.
What's your strength skill?
She jumps.
Yeah,
14.
I'd say you can just about make every jump. It's a little iffy for your balance, but with 14 you can just about make it every time.
Wonderful.
Leaving just no one.
I have a -1 in modifier to strength. I have
can-
8 in strength.
I can try the lever if you want.
I already have a hunch what that lever's gonna do.
What do you
Good
think
for
it
you,
will
'cause
do?
I don't.
The statue of the
What
fiend?
am I standing next to? Yeah. Do I need to say the
Yes.
rest?
If you can make it down to the bottom without injuring yourself, we might be able to get a rope down to you.
I don't think I can, but let me see if I have a rope of my own. I checked through my explorer's pack. Do I have a rope?
Yes. It's part of the explorer's pack.
Can I tie it to the railing and climb down?
Yeah.
Rope is 50 foot long.
Yeah,
It's
but
feet high.
10 feet
Yeah, you'd
is
have to
much
drop the
more
last 10
pleasurable
feet.
than 6 feet, mind you. I don't mind dropping the last 10 feet compared to what I'd otherwise had to drop. And I'd be willing to sacrifice the rope for that. I do as such.
Okay.
Yeah, you do see the flaw in that plan, right?
What is that?
That on our side we only have one rope that will be dangling 10 feet above you.
And neither of the other two have.
No, because all we have is scavenged gear.
I can go down and give him a lift and climb up again.
That would be preferable. Shall we proceed with this plan then?
It seems to be the safest.
Alright, let us do as such. Right,
Okay.
I drop.
Yeah, it's the last 10 feet. You're climbing
Take no
down with a
damage, I
rope. I'm
guess.
not going to give you 4 damage for that because it's basically you drop 4 feet.
Yeah. Right. Come back around here.
Lower rope down.
Okay.
With me climbing down onto it. And give
No, I get an acrobatics or an athletics check. Your choice which. Yep.
Me? Sorry, I was a little distracted. Athletics or acrobatics? I guess I'm gonna give you acrobatics.
You fail to even get a foothold on the wall.
I guess I keep trying. Get up, shamefully, and try again.
Yep.
Same roll.
Okay. This time you take a couple of steps back, take a running start, and get just about to the rope where Meiril grabs you, and then get settled and walk your way up.
Never did I claim that moving about was my forte. Just be on a way. Please.
I also
I
made my way up
presumed.
the rope as well. And recover the rope and hand it back to Mercy.
Put it back in the bag.
I put my hand on the lever. You guys ready for this? Whatever this is.
It's been a pleasure knowing you all. As brief as it has been.
It has been
Folly?
very brief indeed.
Okay. Wind suddenly rises in the chamber. The statue on the far side of the room's fists unclench, and that's what we're going to call it for tonight. Nope.
Aw.
No rolling initiative though. I'll take that as a good thing.
I'll take that as it's actually still
We
just a
will
statue.
pick up here next week when you realise that you should not have all crossed the room before pulling the lever. And thank you for playing. Rip Sakaria.
I
Yep.
gave everyone a choice.
Yep. Thank you everyone for playing.
Yeah,
Rip
but-
Sakaria. Soon to be Rip Meiril again. And no,
Someone really doesn't
they're
like
fucking
bugs.
stupid. and
They're not.
and get the
I'm
fuck to
actually
sleep,
even
all of
playing
you.
one of the worst ones.
Very good night, you all.
Ta-ta.
Yeah, needed.
I didn't start work until like afternoon tomorrow, so we're safe. I'm gonna hop on
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
Let's
yeah.
see.
I am jealous.
What do you do for a living again?
I work at the population and migration office.